Alright guys, welcome to another video here. Today in this video we are gonna talk about Fury Warriors and how they play out on the beta. Except we're not, due to a reason I'll get into a bit later. So yeah guys, today we are gonna talk about like why it's a good thing that Blizzard is delaying Shadowlands, what is not as good about it, and why you should be really pissed at Blizzard for this kind of thing. But first guys, if you like and enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment of what you thought in the video here. I'll likely ask you to leave a lot of comments here during this video. So just tell me what you're thinking about this here subject. What do you think could be better? What could you think be worse? Follow me over on twitch.tv/KillerChris if you want to discuss this a bit further, or just have a great time raiding or playing some Mythic Plus, or I don't know, Arena maybe. Whatever you're into. As long as you're a chill person and not as toxic, I'll be happy to play with you. Alright guys, Shadowlands delay. Alrighty guys, here first allow me to explain the intro here and why we're not talking about Fury Warriors, which leads into like why the delay is a really good thing. And let's talk about bugs and how the game is just not ready in any way to be released, or even coming, like just stepping a little bit out of the beta. One here that is probably the most what should we say, prominent or most game breaking bug that I have experienced, heard about, or seen is, oh, your world quest just doesn't work, they doesn't appear. Can you fix it? Nope, have to start over. Delete your character, start a new one, which is no problem on the beta. But when you just leveled up to level 60, starting a new character and leveling up to level 60 again to play the expansion doesn't really work out, especially if it's a main you played for maybe a decade. Yeah, that is certainly not gonna fly for me on a live server. And yeah, that's really what I got into. So I couldn't do the warrior video because I couldn't get my conduits. I couldn't do anything. It was just like, okay, world quests are bugging out, they're not there. I could open a ticket, fine, I could continue with the rest of the game, but I can't. The conduits and the soulbinds are locked behind. Target is locked behind the quest chain. I have to do 3 world quests in order to progress and continue anything in Shadowlands, and I can't do that because they're bugged. I can't even abandon the quest and retake it again, try and see if I maybe could be able to recover it, but that's not possible. So that's like one of the things here that's like, listen, you are never gonna be ready. I even said it the day you announced the launch date, that Shadowlands is not gonna be ready for this time. They said 2 months, and I was like, even the flight paths are broken. Like, August is broken, flight paths are broken. The maw is broken. You could mount in the maw even though you're clearly not supposed to. But just like by bugging out, sometimes you could mount. Abilities, healing abilities on monks, for example. You could heal, you could cast heal on things. Did it heal? Yeah. Just didn't work. Like, core functionality of the game were completely broken. Then there is stuff like visual bugs, which is not as important. But there's some major visual bugs, like the fact like we had the tunnel effect from the flight path to Ironwield, and that just stayed there. In a previous video, I'll see if I can show it on screen, I'll link it below. Like in that video here, you can actually see like the tunnel effect. We're still there as I just powered through a Mythic Plus dungeon. And yeah, it was actually a little bit nauseating playing that dungeon. But we could play the dungeon and the game could work. We could continue working. So, number one, they need to fix the game-breaking stuff first. Visual bugs can be fixed afterwards. They are having a lot of people working on this and a lot of teams. It's a big game. So, hopefully they will dedicate the resources right and still have a little bit on everything. So, hopefully it's not completely either broken or a game doesn't work and looks great, or, well, it works, but it looks like trash. And then I think is like, yeah, other visual bugs like enchants not working. I mean, it's a long laundry list of bugs here. Like, your character doesn't look like the same on your character login screen as when you log out. Illusion just disappearing from your weapons every once in a while. And stuff like that. Transmogs just changing automatically. Things like that. That is all things that should be a pretty quick fix. And they could have something going on that while they work on the tuning. So the tuning is another part that has been really up in a lot, and we can really feel we're in the tuning phase now, because they are cranking the knobs all the way down on Bone Spike and legendaries that are super powerful and just like straight into the ground, and they're cranking it up on stuff that just completely doesn't work and do no damage. Ideally, I like the way that they are just cranking, especially the Covenants down. Nerf the Covenants into the ground, every single one of them, so they are balanced in the low end. Why? You might say, but Chris, my Bone Spike. Yeah, my Bone Spike too. I like Bone Spike. It was fun. It had a nice mechanic to it. Personally, I feel they should have nerfed the damage even more and just kept the mechanic that made it a little bit the fracture mechanic where it bounced around. That was super fun and made some interesting gameplay and added a little bit of skill ceiling that we could go and reach a little bit higher and improve ourselves as players. It was a great spell, a great mechanic, but they removed the fun part. Now it's an infinite dodge. You press it once in a single target fight, maybe twice if there's an ad. You never touch it again. It's not fun. But personally, I also feel like that the conduit abilities and borrowed power in general, look at corruption, look at essences. Can you play your character even if it's like 470 geared without corruption and essence? No, you can't, because you're going to be beaten by anyone who has corruption and essences. Even like 30 item levels below. I have seen it plenty of times. It is just... Borrowed power shouldn't be powerful. It should be like... Take it a little spice you could drizzle on top of your class. Like, avenge your spice. Barbecue spice. Oh, nice. Or maybe you're more like... oregano or basil. Add some necro or some green spice. I have no idea what blue spice would be. Or if you're just like boring Kyrian, you could add some salt to a class. Yeah, add some salt to a class. Cybersland. Feral druids. Needing a little salt maybe? Kidding, buddy. Alright. But yeah, the thing is, it should not be defining of your damage output. It should be something you can add to your class that could give you a little flavor. And maximum be like 5 to 10% damage increase. No more than that. And 10% I would say should be definitely in the edge case, because it's a lot. Like, say it's like a 5 to 10% damage increase. And then give it like maybe a delta of 2 between all the covenants. 2% that it can vary. You gain a maximum of 2% DPS increase if you choose the worst one or the bad one. How do you do that? You take them all the way down and leave them there. Then it's easy to balance. Like racial abilities. Doesn't matter what race you're playing. Play whatever race you want. Unless you're in the top 1%. Then you pick a race after 1% of the crit or 1% extra haste or whatever you want. Do you want to break out of stuns? Play a human. Do you want to break out of fierce? Play an undead. Are we gonna play goblin because like it's super convenient for a specific fight? Kill Jaden. So you choose what you want, and you can still play at the mediocre level at like the majority of people in the top 95% even. It's only like the top 1% or the top players, 99 percentile players that will have to like play after a certain covenant. Do that, Blizzard. It would make everyone so much happier. Then lastly, there's the conduits. Why, Blizzard? It is something that they are doing. You can change them once per week to cripple the top 1% while hurting every single other player. Like, you were saying, you know what, you have it too easy in the top 1%. We want to make the game harder for you. How do you do that? You do that by ruining the game for you, so you can't simply just change things like you want. Okay, great. That's a bit harder. We can't just swap out as convenient as we want it to be. Alright. But Blizzard, what about everybody else that the game is perfectly fine difficult for? Oh, by the way, tough shit. Now you're stuck in this here as well. And the tuning, they are tuning so hard back and forth with the abilities, like 50% damage decrease, 50% damage increase, like up and down, up and down, up and down. That's not the way you do it. You do some internal testing, take it some steps down, some steps up, then check. But I also feel like these drastic DPS increase, as mentioned before, is to like get a lot of the things way down, like legendaries and Covenant, when you're not forced to play one thing. Alright. Now let's talk about why you should be mad and pissed and angry at Activision and Blizzard. Mostly Activision. That World of Warcraft Shadowlands is delayed. A lot of people are taking vacation time off work, school, other things, planning their life around, like playing, getting into it, and getting that brand new expansion feeling. We're diving in, we are nerding out for days in a row, not sleeping, only eating junk food, drinking crap loads of soda and energy drinks. It's amazing. If we lived like that for more than 5 days in a row, we would probably die of cancer or something. Not that I want anyone to do that. Stay healthy, guys. But a little bit of unhealthy stuff is good enough in a way, every other way. Now people can't do that because they put a unrealistic release date out ahead of time. Blizzard knew that it was unrealistic. Hell, I knew. With the very limited of development experience I have from the web world, developing web sites and control systems for websites, I knew how bad it was and how far it was. If I can tell that isn't gonna work, the day you announce the release date, I am sure your experienced developers can say, this isn't gonna fly. Blizzard knew it way in advance that they were not gonna make it when they set that date. They should just not have said it and just like waited with the release date even longer. And probably finally, and the most prominent reason why you should be mad about the delay is that now we're gonna have a really long time, most likely, of dead space in BFA. You see, later this year, we saw what happened to Warcraft 3. Later this year, late this year, next year, and it was crap. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they made it into January, February, if they just put some decent content in instead. Give us some more tangible stuff we can do. Something, Blizzard. But you shouldn't have. You should have planned about this year in advance and fixed it. Alright, guys. Some closing thoughts from me. I am happy that they're delaying it. I'm really sad and pissed that they had to delay it because they knew it in advance. They didn't have to delay it if they just didn't have set the release date at the time they did. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe if you have forgotten. Check out the other social media, everything below. And I'll see you on the live stream or on the next one. Bye.